Hi guys, this is Klazar bringing you yet another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on a game that is important not only from a team point of view but also from an individual point of view. And this is a game that is being played between Flash and Pusan, and it is being played on Geometry in the Pro League. This game is very important from a team point of view because obviously MBC are 2-1 behind, and they need Pusan to win this to force the match into an ace game. And if Pusan doesn't win, then that's going to be very, very bad for MBC. Excuse me. It's also very important from an individual point of view because Flash is a player who has risen recently to notoriety from his scintillating play against very, very good players, including when he made light work of Light in a turn versus turn matchup normally considered to be Light Alive's forte on Hitchhiker. At the same time, shortly afterwards, he got completely destroyed by Savior, leading to much speculation and bashing on forums and among the Starcraft community, saying that Flash is just a flash in the pan and just a one-hit wonder, and that we will see him that he won't dominate as is expected, or he won't produce anything special, and that his game against Light was more of a fluke and less of a consistent pattern. He is also the player who has been nominated as by Reach, a Protoss versus Terran master in his own right, as being someone that he is truly frightened of. So if Reach is frightened of a Terran, then that's something really to take note of. Of course, Reach would be slightly biased considering their teammates. Pusan, on the other hand, is a solid player. He is a pretty inventive player, and he's always fun to watch because he likes to do interesting things and he likes to experiment with strategies, and he doesn't really play standard straight up cookie cutter games, and for that reason Pusan is a very, very fun player to watch, but he hasn't really been in the best of form recently. He isn't really doing anything in the Star Leagues at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how this game pans out. At the same time, I don't think you can hardly count Pusan out. He's certainly not a has-been. He is a very, very strong player, and he has done very, very well in the past. So to count Pusan out before the game even begins would be foolhardy for anyone to do. And Pusan already taking his assimilator, already taking his gas very, very quickly and starting up a cybernetics core. So Pusan taking up here, it looks like he might be actually going for some sort of a rush, either a Dark Templar rush, or maybe getting that Reaver and Shuttle out very, very quickly from his robotics support bay and from his robotics facility. Flash, on the other hand, looks like he's blocking off his choke. He's gone for an early refinery as well, so we can expect to see him put up a factory pretty soon. Just for reference, Flash is actually at the 1 o'clock position playing Terran in yellow, and Pusan is playing Protoss in brown at the 5 o'clock position. And Pusan going for a second gateway, inexplicably going for a second gateway, so it looks like we might see an early Dragoon push from Pusan here, going for that second gateway. That was interesting considering that he took that gas very, very early. I guess he wants to mass produce Dragoons and try and pressure Flash and keep him pinned back if at all possible. This map is very, very interesting. It's considered generally to be a Terran haven, very, very easy for Terrans to establish siege tanks, and very hard to break the Terran push on this map, and therefore we've seen very few Protoss versus Terrans on this map. What we have seen is a lot of very, very boring, dull as dishwater games between Terrans and other Terrans. But yesterday that myth was shattered by the play of Best God, who destroyed Celita on this very map, in this very matchup, Protoss versus Terran, playing in very similar top-bottom positions. So that was a very, very interesting game to watch, and hopefully Pusan is a veteran Protoss player, and he will show us that Protoss versus Terra on this map is not impossible. So it'll be interesting to see which of the two players come out on top. It does look like Flash is going for siege tanks straight away. He's put up that machine shop and he's got his choke blocked off, so more than likely he's going to pump out a few siege tanks from there and go straight for siege tank research. So and Pusan at the same time has set up his it looks like Pusan has actually taken his natural expansion, so I think Pusan has scouted the fact that Flash is not expanding, and that Flash is walled off his choke, so therefore Pusan might be taking this opportunity to set up an expansion of his own. I'm not sure what he built, whether that was a pylon or a nexus. Meanwhile, Flash is building a bunker at his natural, so it looks like Flash is setting up for a defensive posture as well. Both players seeming to set up for a defensive posture here to try and expand, though not necessarily fast expand. And Pusan's Dragoon comes up and Flash's bunker finishes just in time. Talk about timing. Flash's bunker finished just at the very second as Pusan's Dragoons were coming up that ramp. But Pusan has planted a pylon at the choke to Flash's Bane, and therefore he's going to be attacking that bunker. It looks like those Dragoons are range upgraded, and he's able to hit that bunker. He has come up the ramp, but Flash luckily has a couple of SCVs out there, so he is repairing that bunker, and Pusan now is going to try and go for that tank. The pylon is complete, and Pusan is blocked behind the pylon, but Flash is blocking the pylon, but he takes the pylon out, and Pusan now microing those Dragoons. He hasn't inflicted a lot of damage on Flash despite the push. He's actually managed to take the tank out, so Flash loses his first tank, and that's going to be a bit of bother for him. He didn't get siege technology. If he had, he might have been able to hold those Dragoons off a little bit better. He did get spider mines, and the Dragoons eventually forced back by spider mines, but Pusan inflicting some damage, taking out an SCV and Flash's first siege tank, so that's going to slow Flash down a little bit. And if Pusan decides to go for his Nexus, and he has gone for his Nexus, so Pusan very, very wisely, and also his robotics facility building there, so Pusan very wisely pushing Flash back with those Dragoons and using the opportunity to put his Nexus down. Flash now is starting the command center of his own, but I do feel that you have to give the slight economic advantage to Flash. Firstly, because his Nexus is up much sooner. Secondly, because of Pusan's pressuring, it's going to mean that he's going to have a hard time attacking Pusan's base. And Pusan needs to stop this SCV from scouting there, but he wasn't able to do that. The SCV managed to get up the ramp, but I'm sure that Flash has seen that Pusan is also expanding. So Flash will be a little bit more reassured about Pusan's expansion. But Pusan has got his robotics facility up very, very quickly. So he's going to be having, because of that fast gas that he took, he's going to have that shuttle out very, very quickly. And it remains to be seen whether he's going for a Templar drop or for a Reaver drop. A Reaver drop seems more likely since he hasn't started a Citadel of Adun yet. At the same time, Flash might find himself spread a little bit thin because he has started this expansion. He lost his first siege tank. He does have Vulture spider mines, but he doesn't have anything to counter Pusan's shuttle when it comes out. Pusan now just pushing his Dragoons up. Maybe he might try and go for kind of a joint Dragoon shuttle push, maybe dropping units on the tanks in Pusan's expansion. Certainly in Flash's natural. Certainly Flash doesn't look like he's going to have a lot of units to be able to defend any attack from Pusan anytime soon. Let's just hope he doesn't make the same mistake that C. Lita made in his game against Best God, expanding and yet not making enough vultures, not having enough units to combat the push when it came from the Protoss player. And Pusan there looked like he had a Citadel of Adun up, so definitely Pusan going for a Templar drop, I would guesstimate. But in that case, he should have tried to put up that Citadel of Adun earlier. He kind of went for a mixture in trying to drop quickly, at the same time trying to expand, and he went for putting up his Nexus first. If he'd gone for the Citadel first, he would have gotten the Dark Templar out quicker. But he's also making a third gateway here. I've also seen an observatory, and there is the Templar Archive. I was just wondering whether or not he had put down the Templar Archive, so there's no doubt he's definitely going for a Dark Templar drop. And Flash just scouting with that Vulture. He should probably plant a mine down there so he can scout later on when Pusan tries to expand into that base, if he does choose to do so, which you have seen a lot in Terran versus Terran matchups, where players tend to take that middle expansion relatively early in the game. And Flash very, very intelligently has got that engineering bay up before Pusan has even produced his first shuttle. So that's very good play by Flash. He's going to have turrets, and that's going to help him defend against Pusan, and that's going to also give him the sight he needs against Pusan's invisible Dark Templar. Pusan now going for the expansion at the 6 o'clock position. So Pusan is going to take that expansion, and Pusan is taking advantage of the fact that he managed to pressure Flash earlier and keep him pinned back in his base, and Pusan is taking advantage of that fact, and he's going to expand and going to try and gain the economic advantage and win this game by macro rather than simple micro. And Flash anticipating the drop there. You can see Flash has got 3 tanks unsieged in his base. I'm sure he's researched siege tech by now. He's got 3 tanks, and he's planting spider mines in his main because he's anticipating a Reaver drop from Pusan. But he is not. I don't think he's anticipating a Dark Templar drop, and there the Dark Templar come out for Pusan. So Pusan is going to be dropping Dark Templar inside Flash's main. I do think he has what it takes to cope with it though, because he has got those turrets up. He does not, however, have an academy, so he does not have ComStat, he does not have scan, which might hinder him a little bit. But he does have vultures, and he does have turrets covering his base, so he should be okay against Pusan's drop. I'm not sure if Pusan's drop is going to be able to inflict much damage on Flash's economy with that drop, and that would not be very good for Pusan if he can't hurt Flash's economy, considering that he has invested resources in the Dark Templar drop. And Pusan's shuttle now going up. We're going to find out how effective this drop is going to be in a minute now. Pusan going up with that shuttle. Flash doesn't have much in terms of units defending his main. He seems to have sent those vultures out to the middle to scout and try and harass Pusan if Pusan's making an extra expansion. Now Flash has seen that the shuttle's on its way. He's moving his tanks underneath. Pusan does have an observer in Flash's base, so he knows where those spider mines are. And Pusan not going for the mineral line because he knows there's a turret there. And Pusan drops a Dark Templar off at Flash's factory. Flash has no way of seeing those Dark Templar, and Flash was trying to go for macro. You're trying to build his 5th factory, and that factory is going to get taken out by the Dark Templar. Flash forced to bring out an SCV and try and build a turret within range of those factories so that he can stop those Dark Templar. And he's got a couple of vultures popping out now. One of the vultures gets picked up straight away by Pusan. Another vulture dies, but Flash has brought his forces back, and he's going to be able to put a few mines down to try and combat those Dark Templar. Those Dark Templar so far have killed quite a few vultures, have killed 2 or 3 vultures, have taken out a factory, and one of the Dark Templars goes down. One of the Dark Templars goes down. 2 still alive, harassing in Flash's base. Flash still doesn't have a turret up, but he is using those mines very, very effectively. Great microing by Flash. Another of the Dark Templar goes out, and even though Pusan managed to take out that factory, he has not inflicted significant damage on Flash. So definitely great micro by Pusan, but at the same time you have to say that Flash